انتخابات که هفته گذشته با معرفی رئیس جمهور جدید آخوندها و موشکباران و کشتار مجاهدین به انتها رسید، بازنمایی مرحله سرنگونی رژیم است. با این حال همچنان که بعد از اعلام نتایج انتخابات گفتم، به رئیس جمهور جدید ارتجاع میگوییم بدون آزادی بیان و حقوق بشر و تا وقتی زندانیان سیاسی و فعالیت احزاب آزاد نشده، تا وقتی که سیاست تجاوزکارانه رژیم در سوریه و عراق ادامه دارد و تا وقتی که رژیم برای دستیابی به بمب اتمی پا می‌فشارد، هیچ چیز عوض نمی‌شود. زیرا ولی فقیه می‌داند که هر گونه تغییر جدی در این سیاست‌ها به سرنگونی تمامیت رژیمش راه می‌برد. با این حال می‌گوییم بفرمایید این صحنه آزمایش شماست. حرف ما این نیست که آخوندها بروند تا ما جایگزین آنها شویم. حرف ما این است که رأی و انتخاب و نظر مردم ایران حاکمیت پیدا کند. ما آمده ایم که فدای انتخاب آزادانه مردم ایران شویم. این انتخابی است که ایران را سرشار از اعتماد و گلستان آزادی و عدالت می کند و چنین خواهد شد.
I have the honor this evening of reading three important messages from the United States Senate. I first want to begin with the chairman of the Senate Armed Services Committee, Carl Levin. He writes, "The United States should persist in pressing the government of Iraq to live up to its obligations under the December 2011 agreement with the United Nations to ensure the safety and security of Camp Liberty."
Hello and greetings to all of you gathered today in Paris. I'd like to thank Mrs. Rajavi for the opportunity to speak to you today. I join you in solidarity in condemning the latest deadly rocket attack on Camp Liberty that killed 2 and wounded many more.
Madam Rajavi, on behalf of the United States Congress, I want to give you this plate that is sealed in glass. And when Iran is free and you are the president, we will break this glass and break bread in Tehran together.
Madam President-elect, we have become sisters. The challenge of your great leadership is spreading around the world. And so I present to you a gold rim symbol of the United States Congress and our unity. And for your 2 children, this is a keychain, and you will place on it a key to their freedom, and they will be free. We honor you with this freedom.
No puede haber primavera hasta que todas las mujeres tengan su parte en la historia. Por ello, el papel tan importante que las mujeres desempeñan en la oposición iraní es una señal de la fuerza de su movimiento y es muy alentador. Felicidades, señora Maryam Rajavi, por llevar este movimiento.
I said 2 years ago that Camp Liberty was going to be a concentration camp and worse, a killing field. I am very, very sad to say that I've turned out to be correct. It's become exactly that, a concentration camp and a place where people are killed without any regard for dignity, human life, or decency. I believe that the most honorable thing to do would be to take all those people who are now at liberty in Ashraf, and because of the promises made by the United States of America, by my country, I believe it is our obligation to take all of them and bring them to the United States of America immediately. That would be the right thing to do. That would be the honorable thing to do. That would be the decent thing to do. But since we've abandoned decency and honesty, then I believe the only practical thing to do is to return them immediately to Camp Ashraf, where they can protect themselves. Since we can't seem to protect them, at least let them go to Camp Ashraf, where they can protect themselves from the rockets and from the killing that is going on in Iraq. Where does our hope reside? Where does our hope for freedom and decency and democracy and freedom lie? With the Ayatollah? With the mullahs? With the murderer Rouhani? No, it lies with you, with Madam Rajavi, with the MEK, with people who believe in freedom, with people who believe in democracy, with people who believe in a non-nuclear Iran.
So the world, with the regimes in Baghdad and Tehran, now recognize that the people of Ashraf and Liberty are not terrorists. Rather, they are the victims of brutal repression because of their ideas, their values, and those that you hold and we all hold as well. And that is for a free and democratic Iran to come sooner rather than later.
Your slogan for this meeting is the correct one. Onward to freedom. The only way to move onward to freedom is to have a genuinely open election in which anyone could run, including Mrs. Rajavi.
But I'm going to ask you a question. You are represented by your brave president. Who speaks for free Iran? Who speaks for free Iran?
The United Nations, the State Department, and we, the American friends of the MEK, we convinced the people of Ashraf to move to liberty. We told them that the UN and the US and the government of Iraq guaranteed their safety at liberty. Let the record show we misled them. We misled them. There's been no attempt to guarantee their safety. In fact, the opposite is true. The government of Iraq has prevented them from taking common sense safety measures, T-walls, protective armor, to protect themselves. And again, death has resulted.
Support the democratic opposition in Iran, the MEK, and provide for the safety and security of the men and women at Liberty and Ashraf.
Now is the time to support the resistance movement under Mrs. Rajani's leadership. That's what is needed.
Finally, to the residents of Liberty and Ashraf, continue to hang tough. The large gathering that we have here today from all over the world and the voices that you hear speaking today on your behalf, combined with Madam Rajavi's superb leadership, are indicators that help is on the way.
The United Nations, the U.S. government, and the Iraqi government have all agreed that the MEK must be protected. They must see that this is done.
To the brothers and sisters in Camp Ashraf who are under grave threat, grave stress, whose conditions in that camp are akin to some of the most horrific conditions that people were liberated from in World War II, that help is on the way, and you should never, 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 never give up.
I promise you And I promise them that I will not stop speaking out until the residents of Camp Liberty are free to rejoin the struggle that we're all in, and that is the struggle for a free Iran. That I pledge to you and to them.
Now is the time not to bend to the regime, not to fall for their lies once again, but to adopt a policy of changing the regime in Tehran.
The Ayatollah and the mullahs cannot ignore the force of the resurgence of the legitimate opposition. It's not going to go away. It's going to go onward to freedom, and it's going to go forward now.
For 100 years, the school children of Iran will learn that the road to Iranian freedom led through Camp Ashraf and Camp Liberty.
First, you must have a cause. There can be no better cause than freedom and liberty for the people in Iran. You need to have strong and capable leadership. I am convinced that you have that in Madame Rajavi.
Thank you. I send regards from Admiral Gar Wright. I send regards from Brigadier General Dave Phillips. They could not be here. They wish they were. To the residents of Ashraf and Liberty, I say, we were together in a field of battle. We are together today. We will be together always. And to all of us here, we will always march to victory. March to victory. March to victory.
I care about the people of Ashraf, and if you listen to me right now, people in Ashraf and Liberty, we are still here for you. I am still here for you, and I will be there to the end.
Past 10 years, they have sacrificed many, many things. But those things will be remembered in the history of a new Iran. And I look forward to the day when we can be reunited in America or reunited in a new Iran.
We are here for you. We stand with you. Thank you.
Women in Iran, in Ashraf and Liberty, fight for the same rights as other women around the world: health and education for their children, safety and security for their families and communities.
Just by being here today, you have defied Tehran with your hope for a brighter future for your country that will one day be led by Madame Rajavi.
Imagine equal opportunity in political, economic, and social life. No wonder the Ayatollah fears you. Do we know someone who might offer that kind of real choice to the people of Iran? Yes, we do. Now, think about it. Madam President.
I want you to say to the people of Camp Ashraf, help is on the way. I want you to say to the world that you represent freedom for the people of Iran, and by telling them help is on the way.
But having watched personally Mr. Rouhani's approach when he was head of the nuclear negotiations now some 10 years ago, I know that these hopes will be disappointed. While he does have diplomatic polish, his objectives are the same objectives as those of his predecessor, and that is to continue the quest for nuclear weapons.